Welcome to the United States Virgin Islands. This is Heather.
And Andy.
And this is our honeymoon. Early March is a great time to visit the Virgin Islands. When winter is still gripping Oklahoma, the islands are warm and tropical, about 80 degrees every day. We started our 5-day vacation on the island St. Croix, the largest of the 4 United States Virgin Islands. We were lucky enough to be invited to stay at the Buccaneer Hotel, a beautiful historic hotel that dates to the 17th century. Situated right on the beach, the Buccaneer has several private beaches, golf, tennis, 3 restaurants, and magnificent views of the Caribbean Sea. This is Cafe Tutto Beni. It's an Italian-themed restaurant, but with a local flair. This is apparently one of the favorites of all the locals here in St. Croix, so let's go in and check it out. St. Croix has some amazing artisans, and we're downtown Christiansted doing some shopping. You can buy handcrafted jewelry, you can buy handmade dresses, and right now we're at Mitchell Larson's studio. This is a hand-blown glass studio, so let's go in and check it out. After strolling through the shops in downtown Christiansted, it was time for a bite to eat at the Fort Christian Brew Pub, a waterfront hotspot here in St. Croix. Around here, seafood is as fresh as it gets, and fresh conch is a delicacy at all the local restaurants. Water sports are huge in the islands, as you could imagine. You can go snorkeling, scuba diving, parasailing, windsurfing, and just about any other activity involving the ocean you can think of. Even this family pet gets in on the water sports. One of our favorite activities on St. Croix was a catamaran trip with Big Beard's Adventure Tours to the secluded Buck Island, a protected national park. Along with about 15 other passengers, we took in the beautiful island scenery and then dove into the ocean to snorkel the reefs. One word of advice to the newly married men out there who aren't used to wearing a wedding band: take off your ring before you go snorkeling. Andy's ring slipped off his finger and now lies somewhere at the bottom of the Caribbean. Leaving St. Croix headed to St. Thomas is an adventure in itself. We boarded this seaplane for the short 18-minute flight. Flying in a seaplane is a lot less scary than I expected. It was loud and we were packed in like sardines, but the view was amazing and we were in St. Thomas in no time. Thomas is the most cosmopolitan of the U.S. Virgin Islands, with hustle and bustle everywhere you look. Charlotte Amalie is the main street in St. Thomas, right next to the cruise ship port, where tourists can find some fantastic tax-free shopping. You can shop at Nicole Miller, Ralph Lauren, Benetton, dozens of liquor and souvenir shops, and this area has more jewelry shops than I've ever seen in one area. The shop owners are dying to get you into their shops to make a deal, and don't be afraid to barter in St. Thomas. It's expected. Andy found a really nice new white gold wedding ring at one of these shops. We took a driving tour of St. Thomas in a safari cab. Our driver stopped at all the most scenic overlooks, where we had spectacular views of Magens Bay, Hull Bay, Crown Bay, and some colorful characters. We made a stop on the driving tour at Villa Botanica. Like much of St. Croix and St. Thomas, this is the site of what used to be a sugar plantation in the 17th century. Now, just a few ruins hint at its history, but its new owners have turned the place into an incredible botanical garden. They rent the grounds out for special events like weddings and family reunions. This would be a great place for a destination wedding on St. Thomas, and we were told it's quite affordable to rent. At the top of the property, there's a swimming pool that overlooks beautiful views of Crown Bay. And we found the most amazing tree up there. This tree is called the yellow pui, and it doesn't have any leaves. It just grows beautiful yellow blossoms. St. Thomas also has some real upscale shopping opportunities situated on the bay right next to the harbor, where some amazing million-dollar yachts are docked. If you can afford it, this is a great place to shop at boutiques like Gucci and Coach, and don't forget, it's all tax-free. Well, we made it to our final destination on our honeymoon. This is St. John. It's amazing. It's the most beautiful island. In fact, I think it's my favorite island of all three. It's the smallest island. There's only about 5,000 people living here, but really it seems like it's the most lively to me, maybe because everyone's in one area. We're staying at the Westin Resort, St. John, and there's just families here. There's all ages, all types of people, and it's just a great time. We're at Hawk's Nest Beach. This is Stacy Mulcair. She is the one and only wedding planner on St. John. So if you want to have a destination wedding, this is the woman to talk to. So tell us, why is this such a great place to get married?
Hawk's Nest Beach is normally selected for an early morning wedding prior to 9:30 a.m. because of the lighting being so good, and it's easy to just pull up with the wedding party and walk directly onto the beach. It's also the closest beach to town, so we can be here within 5 or 10 minutes of arrival. And most often we do our weddings down by the rock for privacy.
And we're about, 150 yards or whatever from the road, so you can walk right up to the beach. There's pavilions where you can have your reception. You can also rent the
Oppenheimer building.
The Oppenheimer building.
Right. Which belonged to the Oppenheimer family at one time and now belongs to the Department of Recreation and Parks and can be rented for private affairs. This is Trunk Bay Beach. It's considered one of the 8 top beaches in the world. It is the most requested spot for sunset wedding ceremonies, but it's also busy during the day with cruise ship passengers that are brought over from St. Thomas to experience the underwater snorkeling trail at Trunk Bay, which is located right here around the island. We have markers in the sand as you snorkel to tell you what you're looking at. There's also a concession stand for food and drinks, shower stalls, a bathroom, changing rooms, and chair rental. It does cost $4 per day to enter to Trunk Bay to be able to use all those facilities.
Well, here it is, the last day of our honeymoon vacation in the Virgin Islands. It's been incredible. We've had such a good time. We're getting ready to get on a ferry to go back to St. Thomas because there is no airport on the tiny island of St. John. Anyway, it's just been a wonderful vacation. If you ever have a chance to come to the Virgin Islands, you should do it.